Hey guys, hope everybody is doing awesome on this, well, it's Thursday. Almost there, almost to the end of the week. I'm kicking around here by myself for once at the house, so I figured I might make up a little video here. I was thinking about putting some supper together for myself, and I thought, hey, why not spend the time that it takes to get this thing set up and kind of go from there. So I looked in my fridge. I've got some veggies that I have to get rid of for sure. And I decided that what I'm probably going to do is cook myself a little bit of like a very veggie heavy stir fry. I've got some random broccoli in there, some old mushrooms, which is basically the majority of what I want to get rid of. I usually would throw a little bit of a rice on or a noodles or something, but honestly, there's so many veggies here that I'm probably just going to make it and mix it with sprouts and then make a pot of rice for myself for later or for tomorrow or whatever. So this is it. The jankiest setup in the West. I really hope that it comes through and looks all right and there are no catastrophes. I have a very, very precarious setup right now with the old camera and the microphone and all that jazz, so we will see. First thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to pop this classic Tefal pan on low. I'm going to grab myself my little wooden spoon that I like to use in this pan, and I've already got a couple of my ingredients out here. Just figured it would save me running back and forth. And what I'm going to do first is toss down a little bit of this stuff, a little bit of ghee, right in the pan. I like to do ghee for pretty much everything. I just really like the way it tastes. I really like the texture it gives. You can even eat little bits of it raw or unmelted, I guess, and it kind of just melts in your mouth and very delicious. Tastes like fake movie theater butter, even though it's real, full-on, just clarified butter. But yeah, throw that on low. Toss in a little tiny bit of sesame oil as well, just pure sesame, roasted. And that will be my base for all my veggies. Usually you're gonna want to start with the thing that takes you the longest or takes the longest to cook kind of thing. If I were going to put carrots in here, I would start with carrots. I'm not a huge fan of carrots in a stir fry. I do like a grated carrot. I like a carrot sliced on a bias, all that good stuff, but it's just one of those things. If I'm just making it for myself, I don't have to put carrots in there. I'm probably not going to. I've got enough veggies as it is. So I got a little rough looking piece of celery here that I kind of already washed off and all that good stuff. I like to get myself at least a tiny bit set up beforehand so that I am good to go and not rushing all over my kitchen. I say that, and anybody that's watched me cook will know that I am usually actually rushing all over my kitchen, so you can only prepare so much, and maybe I prepare a little bit more when I know that I'm going to have to be kind of showing it to a video. So I just like to slice up my celery nice and thin on a little bias there. It's my favorite knife for stuff like this. Well, for pretty much anything is just they're vegetable cleavers basically. This is just an Amazon one. It's I've had this for 5 or 6 years now. I think it was $40 on Amazon, and it is pretty fantastic. 15V cutlery, doing it right. So I put my celery down, get a little bit of that business kicking around, and I've got this very janky old onion that's been in my fridge for a while, so I figure I will give it a little bit of life by just slicing it up and throwing it in here instead of having it end up in my compost in 2 or 3 days for being way too dry. Toss that in there. Turn that up a little tiny bit. Get these bad boys all mixed together. And something else that I have that I am thinking about tossing in here is I have these honey garlic sausages that I found the other day at the store that were on sale. I love a nice discount, $4 off, $5 off, $7 off. Any vegetables or meat that are discounted, I am probably going to buy it because I'll probably end up cooking with it. So I've got these mushrooms that are looking a little worse for wear. They do need a quick clean off. So I usually give them a little bit of a rough clean. If you're looking at cooking them right away anyway, there's really no harm in washing these, like in actually just washing them in water. I think people get a little bit scared of washing mushrooms because you see it said on like cooking shows and stuff where it's like, oh, like don't wash them, they're going to get slimy. But they're only going to get slimy if you're holding them for a long while. Like if you're putting them in a container and you're going to be using them later on, then yeah, for sure. Like if you wash them in water, they're going to be wetter, so they're going to get a little bit slimier. But it is one of those things. If you're frying them up right away, then there's no need. So I give mine a little bit of a bath with the old paper towel. Let's get them nice and clean. They're actually pretty good. They looked a little bit soft in the package, but they're not squishy, and they're not like sloughing away. Like sometimes you'll get mushrooms where the flesh just starts to kind of want to push away, and that's never good. That's never something you really want to see. My mushrooms, I love a mushroom. I just kind of do them big. You can do really whatever you want. I'm not here to tell people how to cook. I'm here to show people how I cook, and that may mean absolutely nothing. I might get some people in the comments being like, oh, you're doing this wrong, or you should do this, or whatever. You know what? I see those all the time in cooking videos, and I don't care. I'm going to do it the way that I have always done it, because I am a crotchety old man. So, starting to get a little bit of a sizzle on those onions, a little bit of a sizzle on that celery. Mushrooms are going right in as well. Nothing I have here takes super long. I like to cut my broccoli, keep the stalk, stick it in a little bowl because I'm going to use that to make veggie stock at some point. Stick the leaves right in the pan. Never throw out broccoli leaves, they're so good. Same thing with cauliflower, never throw out a cauliflower leaf. If you're cooking a cauliflower and it's got leaves on it, or you're like going to the store and you're getting a cauliflower, the more leaves the better. Take those home, take the cauliflower apart, just wash it up, and fry those leaves up in some butter like you would do like a spinach or something, or just like a normal green. And man, oh man, I slept on cauliflower for way, way, way too long. So, broccoli, mushrooms, got a little bit of celery, I got our sesame oil, we've got our ghee in there. Usually, I'm just using a couple spices. I want to make it pretty easy for anybody out there who might want to throw something like this together at home. I use a Chinese 5-spice, which you can pretty much find at any grocery store, bulk bar, and stuff like that. It's lovely. It's got a nice smell to it. It's a lot of the time it's star anise, fennel, cinnamon, cloves, and like a long pepper, like a Szechuan peppercorn. I use this Lighthouse freeze-dried garlic, which I really enjoy. A very healthy amount because I'm a big garlic man. I think a lot of people are. Soy sauce. So, I'm going to hit the whole thing with some soy sauce. If you don't have wine, you don't need to do this step. You can also use wine vinegar. I'm a big fan of putting a little bit of wine, basically everything I cook. I've also got this nice yellow pepper that's starting to go. I'm only going to use a chunk of this bad boy. Throw that over there in the compost. You can pop this out if you like. I like to eat it usually, but for aesthetic purposes, I'll throw it this one time. Like a thick pepper. I like a thick pepper in big chunks. And again, it's like I said, do whatever you want, man. Cook it however you want. And that's basically it, guys. Like, that's going to be pretty much my stir fry right there. Even though I put Chinese 5-spice in there, hit it with the black pepper. I'm going to mix in at the very, very end a little bit of Chinese sprouts. Once it's off the heat, I'll throw it in a bowl and do that up. And then, the one thing I didn't already have out, my nice $6 off Schneider's Savory Honey and Garlic. I always think that a honey garlic sausage is a good combo for a weird, I hesitate to say Chinese style, but I guess Asian style stir fry. I don't want to do this. I guess slices on a bias, nice and big. Probably only do, well, no, you know what? I'll do 2. If it were just me, which it is, if it were just me, it's just me, I should probably just do 1. But if I want to eat this 2 or 3 times tonight or into tomorrow, have some for lunch, I'll be glad that I threw 2 sausages in here. Bam. That's that right there. Turn that up a little tiny bit. That's a little bit stacked to be tossing around at this point. It's got a little bit of liquid in there that I don't want to lose. So I'm just going to give that a toss around. And yeah, I'm just going to let this cook down. And then once that's cooked down, that's pretty much ready to roll. You throw it in a bowl, throw some sesame seeds in there if you want, throw some sprouts in there if you want. Could have done it a lot of ways. I thought about frying off the sausages first, but I honestly kind of like when the sausages cook just in the veggies with the broth. It's one of those things, it's personal preference. If you like a crispier sausage, you're going to want to start those at the very, very start. Fry them off first. If you like a sausage that is a little bit less on the crispy and cooked side, this is a way to do it. You can also do thicker slices. And I just kind of toss it down like that. So I'm going to let that cook up. And once that is all cooked up, I will take a couple shots of the finished product, and then I'm going to have myself some supper. So it's a little quick video, just making some food, and hope you guys enjoyed. And this is pretty much it. That's the finished result, I think, honestly. I was thinking about maybe throwing some udon noodles together, but I'm going to mix this with some sprouts, and I am going to just enjoy it in a big bowl like that. Alrighty, fellas, and yeah, this is it. This is my quick little, I don't know, 8-minute stir fry. Nice bean sprouts. Gonna give my bean sprouts a quick rinse in some cold water. Drain them off. I like a big portion. I'm a big boy. And yeah, this is, I was thinking about maybe making a little bit of like an udon noodle or something, but at the end of the day, with some sprouts in there, I'll probably toss a little bit of extra soy sauce on top, just to give it a little tiny bit of extra sauce, because I cooked it off a little bit more than I maybe sometimes will. You can also toss, I like to toss like a little bit of a fish sauce on here sometimes. I'm a big fan of a tonkatsu sauce, the fruit and vegetable sauce. And I'm also just a huge fan of like an oyster sauce or a hoisin. Anything, honestly. This is a good, it's a stir fry at the end of the day. It is exactly what it is. It's one of the easier meals that you can cook. This is not anything fancy. Again, too, like I'm not out here trying to be like, hey, look, this is some crazy meal that only I can cook, or you guys probably never heard of, or like, hey, look, this is a tip. Because it's not really a tip. It's just literally, this is just an easy meal. It's just something that I like to make that I thought, hey, maybe somebody else would like to make this and doesn't already know exactly how. So, I think at the end of the day, fellas, that might be it. Give this a little bit of a mix up. So again, that's just a pepper and celery. It's a little bit of broccoli, a little bit of bean sprout, mushrooms and onions, and this weird honey garlic sausage that honestly doesn't taste like honey or garlic. It kind of just tastes like a Oktoberfest sausage. Goodness, Aura. Screaming in the background there. So yeah. No, none for you. This is all for me. With that, I'm going to go plop down, eat this up, and I'll probably see you guys soon. I would really hope. So if you watch this video all the way to the end, if you watch this video at all, thank you. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoy all and every meal that you have in the future here. What is going on back there? I don't know if you guys can hear that, but one of my two cats, Aura, is suddenly realized that I'm not paying any attention to her, and I'm paying a lot of attention to whatever I'm doing here. So she's just pacing around and screaming, as cats tend to do. But yeah, fellas, thank you so much. Enjoy. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.